There we go. We are live and in person. So we will give everybody a chance to find us. We were a little bit later logging in than normal. Facebook is now building me an audience. It's so exciting. Really. Oh, we have one audience member. All right. All right, I am right on time today, so we're going to dive right in. This is Deanna Nichols, doTERRA Blue Diamond, and we're here with our weekly events. Essential oils are not magic beans, but they help me spring into wellness. I hope you caught that like subtle, not so subtle pun there. We're going to talk about spring wellness a little bit, and I really would love to get this at a height where I'm not blocking my face with the words. There we go. So we're going to just chat for a few minutes about some basic oils that help to support wellness during the springtime. I was just thinking a lot about that because the weather's really starting to change. We're getting a lot of rain, and then we're having sunny days. And so there's just some things that we just probably need to review for our people who have been using oils for a while, and definitely need to cover for the people who are new to oils. So if you hear really loud noises behind me, that's my dog. He is, I don't know what he's doing. He's making lots of noise. So, what we're going to do is we're going to chat for a few minutes about some essential oils. And then if you stick around to the very end, it's only going to be like 30-35 minutes. And if you stick around to the very end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you figure out how to get started using essential oils. Hi, Denise. Hi, Linda, Winona, Amanda, all kinds of peeps. And so what I'm going to help you do is I'm not just going to help you solve like a problem in your life, because essential oils, believe it or not, are not for sick people. Okay, they're for people who want to be well, who want to live a wellness lifestyle. So is there an oil for every little thing that goes wrong? Yes. But even better, it's a wellness lifestyle, and we're going to help you figure out how to have one of those. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to sell you any oils on this video. We don't sell oils. Number two, what we're going to do is we are going to help you to get a wholesale membership to doTERRA, because you are the person who is going to be the advocate for your own wellness. So we're here to help educate you. We're here to support you and give you community, but you are going to take responsibility for your wellness, and we're going to help you do that. So the best way to do that is to get started with some sort of a starter kit from doTERRA, get some basic oils in your home, figure out what they do. We'll help you do that too, and make sure that you're prepared when things happen. What you probably are thinking about if you're kind of new to oils is like, what's wrong with me today? So if you have, reactions to the pollen that's coming out with all the new plants that are blooming, you might be thinking you want to focus on just that. What you're not thinking about is that your kid wakes up in the morning with ear discomfort, or you're running on the treadmill and you twist your knee in about a week, or your kid comes home from school puking because the 3 kids sitting around him at school were doing that a couple days before, all of those things. And so we want to make sure you're prepared and you're staying at your optimal wellness all the time. So if you stick around to the end, we'll tell you that. The other thing is if you are a personal guest of Deanna Nichols, so you stumbled across one of my social media pages where I personally invited you, I would like to give you a special invitation to my VIP Facebook group. We have to be Facebook friends. So friend request me and send me a message and say, hey, I'm not a doTERRA wholesale member, and I'm not working with anybody else in doTERRA, just you personally, and I would like an invite to your VIP page. The reason you want to be on there is because I have special promotions and offers that I only give to my VIP people. They're not available to everybody else, and I want you to be able to go there and find out what they are, because you will not hear about them anywhere else. All right, so make sure you tell me so you can get an ad to that page. All right, let's dive in. All right, so we kind of alluded to this earlier, but the first thing I think of when I think of spring is I think of all the pollen and how it's affecting us. And honestly, where I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, we have issues with this all year round, because we have, I believe we have number 1 or number 2 worst air quality in the U.S. That is, yay, Knoxville. Good for us. The good news is that we have things that can help support your respiratory health. And so if you're dealing with like the sniffles and the stuffy nose and the sinus and all that junk, one thing you want to have in your home is Tri-Ease. These are some really awesome soft gels, and they're really convenient, so you can just kind of pop one in your mouth and swallow, and it has lemon, lavender, and peppermint essential oil. Now, if you don't have this and you get a starter kit, a lot of starter kits won't come with this, but what it will come with, it will come with the oils. So lemon, lavender, and hopefully peppermint. No, peppermint's missing. So we'll have an imaginary peppermint. But you take the oils, you can put 1 drop of each in a veggie capsule, which guess what? doTERRA sells those for just a couple bucks. Put that in there. You can take it with a full glass of water. You can also, if you've got a small child that's not capable of swallowing anything, or they can't really carry on a conversation with you yet, they're probably not old enough to be swallowing oils. All right, so what you can do for them is you can try to put it on the bottoms of their feet. I've heard other people say to do stuff like putting it behind the ears, because that's your ears are draining and all that stuff, and on the face. I say no, because lemon will make you photosensitive, and there's not a worse time of a year to have any citrus oils on your face than now when it's very sunny, or if you live in like Florida or somewhere like that. So I would say keep it to the bottoms of your feet if you're going to use citrus oil topically at all. And you could do up the spine as well, but again, you can't be taking your shirt off, you know, on the beach or something if you're going to be doing lemon. So the safest bet is usually the bottoms of your feet. But if you're able to take it internally, you're going to get the best results with that. This is easy. This is a little bit less easy, and then the roller is possible. Okay, so those are 3 ways you can do lemon, lavender, peppermint. Every once in a while, there's somebody who really doesn't respond that way very well to that. And to be honest with you, if you take a little shot glass of lemon, lavender, and peppermint when you've got all the like going on, that was my impression of, you know, the seasonal stuff. If you have all that going on and you swallow the little shot glass with 1 drop each of lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and you don't feel a difference in 10 or 15 minutes, then it's probably not going to work for you. Without some additional help. So one of the things you can do is you can add Melaleuca. Melaleuca is a very common oil that the starter kits are all going to have. It's a lot of times people will refer to this as tea tree oil, although that's not quite exactly accurate. But it does a lot of the same stuff. So you can include this. You can also take a steaming hot mug of water and add some Melaleuca, maybe a little peppermint. Just close your eyes when you do it, and then inhale that from the steaming cup to try to open things up. You can put a little lemon in there too. If you're an adult and you're really brave, you can use you can do like a sinus rinse, and you can use lemon and Melaleuca and maybe a little cilantro in there. I wouldn't do more than 1 drop of each, just to kind of clean all that stuff out. So those are just some ideas when the plants start getting crazy and all the yellow powders all running around and bothering you. That's a good couple ideas for you. Good night, monkey. I love you. Mwah. Okay, let's talk about insects for a second. Insects are more rampant. Especially for those of us who don't live in a tropical climate where it's always like this, but I'm starting to see a lot more mosquitoes and flies and bees, and I'm getting lots of questions about that. And so first of all, let's talk about repelling the insects. So essential oils, one of their main jobs is to either attract or repel things, because the plant is just sitting there and it can't go to the club and meet people, so it has to just like send out these little fragrances to let people know they're there and they come to the plant. So why would you want to attract insects? Well, you're going to attract certain insects with certain smells because you want to attract like pollinators, like bees. And so if you think about it, if you're outside and you smell like a flower and you smell like an orange, you're probably going to be attracting some bees to you. Okay, so they won't be angry. They think you're delicious, but they're going to be around, and so the likelihood of you getting stung will probably be increased. I didn't understand this when I first started using essential oils, and never in my life had I been stung by anything, and I've been stung multiple times since I started using oils, and pretty soon, you know, my noggin finally kicked in, and I'm like, oh, I'm wearing pollinator attractor type oils. So there are some oils that you can use to repel those stinging insects if you don't want those hanging out around you or around your kids. So they tend to not like the minty oils. So if you've got like eucalyptus, peppermint, those types of things on when you're outside. I've heard lemongrass. I've heard mixed reviews on that one, but I feel pretty confident about spearmint, peppermint, eucalyptus. If you've got those on when you're outside, then you will not be mistaken for a plant that needs pollinated, apparently. That's what I'm reading. So, and you know, on the Team Oil Shares page, somebody, I think Kristen Wilcox, maybe you can shout out to her. She had like some recipe she got somewhere that she uses for that. And I can't remember what all it had in it, but that would be a good one for her to share. Maybe we can grab her and get her to share that on our page. Then let's talk about mosquitoes. Everybody's out there asking about all kinds of concoctions that they want to make. Where is my to repel things like mosquitoes and ticks. And doTERRA's already done it for you. We've got like professional chemists that have worked really hard to come up with like a really good blend. So trying to make your own is kind of funny to me. I mean, this is good, and they've improved it a lot in the past year. They added arborvitae, which we know is an excellent insect repellent. I have actually, when I first moved into a home that I was renting in Florida, I diffused arborvitae throughout the air conditioning system for about 48 hours, and I saw dead insects just laying all over the house. So I didn't have to spray chemicals in the house. I was able to just use something natural. So I'm just letting you know how arborvitae works. So there's all kinds of stuff in here that's going to be excellent for repelling mosquitoes. But if you're a little bit paranoid, as I will say, I tend to be a bit paranoid about ticks. There is already cedarwood in here. Cedarwood is the anti-tick oil, and it's already in here. But if you want a little extra assurance, I like to err on the side of extra assurance. Okay, I'm a more careful person, so I would say add a little cedarwood. So get the spray TerraShield, spray it in your hands, and then rub it on. If you spray it on yourself, you're going to use way too much, especially for a little kid. So put some in your palms and then rub it where it needs to go. And then maybe do a little cedarwood to top it off, especially on your shoes and socks and stuff like that. One of our upline, I want to say it was Steve Hales, used to take a bottle of cedarwood and mix it into, and again, I'm not using the right technological words and stuff, but this spray thingy that you can like make stuff to spray on your lawn, and he would just mix water with like a bottle of cedarwood, and he would spray his lawn like right around his house, so at least he knew that he was dealing with the ticks that were right around the house. And so that'd be good for your kids playing in the yard. It'd be good for your pets. By the way, you can use these two oils on pets. You can use TerraShield and cedarwood. Now, in our culture, we're used to like giving our animals a pill to swallow or putting some kind of poisonous substance on their spine or whatever to kill ticks for, 4 weeks. It's really scary what's in there. Plus, I just read that some company is making fake labels for flea medicine, and it's not even flea medicine. They've like forged some popular flea medicine brands, and they are making I don't know, who knows what's actually in there, and then they're sticking the flea medicine labels on it. So who knows if you're even getting flea medicine? That's so crazy. So what's different is essential oils, guess what they do? They evaporate. So you cannot just put this on your dog once every 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, this is like it might last 4 to 6 hours. So unless your dog is like hanging out outside 24/7, it shouldn't be an issue. You could just like, again, spray your palms and then rub it through, get their bottoms of their feet, their tail, all that stuff. And you can use that as an insect repellent. And if you're doing the Steve Hales method and you're spraying your lawn maybe once a week or whatever with cedarwood, then it's only going to cut down on the number of insects that are out there to bite them. Since we're on the mention of ticks, I would be remiss if I did not seriously refute a video that's floating around out there about putting essential oils on an embedded tick. It's had like 500 bazillion views, and so I feel like I need to address that and say that I have lived in some of the highest Lyme disease areas of the country, and because of that I've had a lot of experience working with people like you guys that have had exposure to ticks. And if I know one thing about ticks, I know that you should never irritate the tick when it's embedded in any way. You should never try to burn it or say mean things to it, or to just be nice to it. Don't put oils on it when it's embedded. No. Don't pick it up and squeeze it with your fingers. Get some tweezers. Go real quick on YouTube and look up how to remove a tick with tweezers. You want to carefully and quickly, but not like, you don't want to yank it. You just want to like gradually pull it straight up, and you want the whole tick to come out. You don't want to squeeze it or scare it or like poke it with a stick and irritate it, because it's going to get rid of all the junk it has in it and bleh, right inside you, and that's going to highly increase your chances of getting some kind of tick-borne cooties that you don't want. So because of that reason, I just want to say that there's like this peppermint video floating around and they're like, oh, it's so cool. It's not cool. Don't do that. Okay. So once you properly remove the tick with tweezers, or they even sell like tick removing instruments out there that are pretty cool, but you can just use a good old-fashioned pair of tweezers. Then you can do whatever you want to the tick. After it's out of you, go ahead, put Purify on it, put oregano on it, put whatever, it'll kill it, burn it, whatever you need to do to make sure it's dead. Just do it after it's not embedded anymore. But then the very next move that you should make, I promise, is to take Purify and put it on the area and keep applying it. Just keep applying Purify like every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, like the whole rest of the day. I would do it for, several times a day for the next couple of days. And then my very next thing I would do is I would get myself taking On Guard Plus like 3 or 4 times a day for about 10 days. I would do that right away. And I would keep Purify at least twice a day, probably up my spine. I would do some frankincense under my tongue. If it's a small child, do the up their spine. Drink lots of citrus oils. Make sure you're taking a probiotic, a really good probiotic. We have an adult probiotic that you can swallow, and we have a children's one, which frankly I like as an adult. It's yummy. But give them a good probiotic, because the healthier your gut is and the stronger your immune system is, the less likely that anything that you come in contact with, mold, ticks, spider bites, just any kind of chemicals, are going to affect you if you're strong. So the object is to get your immune system all the tools that it needs, and your immune system is largely in your gut health, which is why I'm telling you PB Assist or PB Assist Junior. But for the love of God and all that is holy, try to keep the ticks away first. So that's your biggest goal, is to try to do everything you can. When you're outside playing and before you come in the house, check everybody for ticks. They like to hide in places that you don't think of to look right away. So look in your hair, places that are covered by clothing that doesn't get checked a lot. That's where I have found ticks most of the time, on my back. And so have somebody else help out and check with that, okay? Spider bites, if you have a basic kit, use On Guard. Somebody asked that the other night. I felt so bad that I didn't get an answer to them in a timely manner. But if you have just the basic oils, you want to stick On Guard on some kind of a bite. If you don't know what it is and it looks like a bite, On Guard's a good one. Arbor Vitae's a good one. If you have more oils, Basil and Purify, those are great for any kind of bites. Keep applying it. They're going to help to draw stuff out. The On Guard has clove in it, which is good for that. Lots and lots of oils that are good for the immune system. So I have lots of stories about that, but for sake of time, I'm just telling you those are some good options. If you get stung by a bee, you have to, again, properly remove if there's a stinger in there. If it's a wasp or something like that, then I would, again, just kind of do some of the basic stuff we talked about. I would use Purify, On Guard, any of those oils that draw things out. You can use lavender and melaleuca to soothe. Peppermint's very soothing, especially if it's like an itching. Peppermint can be very, very soothing. If you're trying to repel flies, patchouli is a really good oil for that, especially like if you're outside having a picnic or something. I've heard you can put patchouli on the corners of your picnic table, and that will repel flies. I've had pretty good success myself. I didn't used to like patchouli until recently. I used to actually kind of loathe patchouli. And now I'm starting to, it's okay with me now. And I like what it does. That's why I like about it. But lemongrass has worked really well for me, and I know that people with horses, that's a real issue, trying to keep flies away, and fly repellent, like you're spraying it all over horses, is poison. So lemongrass is a really good one. Of course, you want to keep it out of their, just like humans, you want to keep it out of their eyes, and you don't need to use straight lemongrass. You can mix it in water, etc. Okay, when it is spring outside, everybody wants to go outside and do stuff. And because of that, you've got extra things that haven't happened to you in a while, like lots and lots of boo-boos, okay? Especially if you have kids, or really anybody outside playing and climbing on things and jumping and running. And so you need to know how to make the boo-boo blend. That's what I call it. And get you you can get a spray top that will squeeze. It will what is the word? A spray top that will screw on to one of your bottles, or you can buy a spray bottle, like maybe a 1-ounce glass bottle, and you want to mix like equal parts of lavender and melaleuca, and then however many drops you used of each of those. So let's say you used 10 drops of lavender and 10 of melaleuca, then you'd use half frankincense, okay? And then you add the rest coconut oil, and you can spray it on to different scratches and scrapes without having to touch it, you know, especially if it's like a road rash type thing from somebody riding their bike or falling on cement or rocks or something like that, so you don't have to touch it and irritate it. Once it's clean, of course, then you can spray it. A good thing to clean wounds with is actually On Guard concentrated cleaner. You can get yourself a big glass spray bottle, and you only need about, this is like 20 ounces, so I would need less than 2 tablespoons of the On Guard cleaner, and the rest water. And I keep 2 of these in the house at all times. We clean everything with this, but you can clean a wound for a pet or a person really well with this. It's mostly water. And then you spray your Boo Boo blend. The other thing is you should definitely have Correct X in your house. There are lots of other salves that people put on Boo Boos, and they are petroleum based, which is poisonous to your system. I can't believe we're still doing this in 2017. We're like plugging in our cars, but we're slathering petroleum all over our bodies and all over our private areas, and it's just, it is just beyond reason to me. Sorry, I had a moment there. It just annoys me. So please don't use petroleum products on people or animals, or really anyone that you like. And so Correct X is petroleum free, but it also has amazing essential oils that are good for helping tissue to repair itself and helping to fight away any kind of germs that may have gotten into it. It's kind of magical, honestly. I use it for all kinds of stuff. I have some crazy uses for it. Like, I've used it on my face. If I have like a blemish on my face, I put a little dab on before my foundation, and it helps the makeup to kind of like go where it's supposed to without getting that like caked on, dried up look when you have a blemish. So you should have it just for, I literally have like a tube of this everywhere. There's a tube in every bathroom. There's a tube in my purse, my backpack. I love this stuff. And so I would keep some in the car because somebody's going to need it. Okay. Of course, Deep Blue oil. It's blue. That's how you can tell, and it's in a short bottle. It comes in a 5 ml. It also comes in a roller if you want it to be already diluted, which is nice for like little kids and sensitive areas and stuff. This is not it. I'm just showing you a roller. So that's good for pain when you fall. And then there's Helichrysum. Helichrysum's a little bit expensive, but that's why doTERRA has the loyalty rewards program. When you're a member, so you choose your starter kit, you automatically become a member, which gives you 25% off of retail and with everything you buy, but it also allows you to participate in the rewards program. So I tell people all the time, if you're buying essential oils from somebody, they are getting all your goodies. They're getting the 20, you're paying retail, so they're pocketing that 25% that you could be saving, plus they're getting your rewards points. You're entitled to make anywhere from 10 to 30, what is my problem? I just had a brain total, it's 30%, right? Yeah, I've only been doing this 5 years, so I can totally understand why I forgot that for a second, but 10 to 30% back on everything you buy and free product rewards. So that's how you afford oils like Helichrysum. Helichrysum is the oil that you want if you got any kind of a cut or wound. You definitely want this as an emergency oil, and so save up your points on the loyalty rewards program and use it for Helichrysum. You want this in your home, okay? It gets warmer nowadays, and so again, you can get a spray top and get a bottle that's almost empty, kind of like this one's almost empty, and with peppermint or spearmint. I personally prefer spearmint because peppermint's a little too tingly for me. And add water to it, and then you can kind of just spray it on the back of your neck or on your chest or backs of your knees or whatever when you're outside and you're feeling a little bit warm. So that's a good thing. One thing that we need to talk about for a few minutes is citrus oil safety. Okay. Now, it's no secret I'm a big fan of everyone using citrus oils all day long. And how we do that is mostly we use it in our water. We drink it in our water. Hey, Judy. You want to do it in a glass or stainless steel container, and you want to be drinking about 1 drop for every 8 ounces of water. It's going to help you with lots of stuff. It's going to just help your general wellness. But you notice I don't say a lot about putting citrus oils on your skin because it's a little bit of a risk when you do that, but it's even a greater risk when it is the sun is out more. So if you live in Florida, it's kind of like just par for the course. But I forgot because I lived in Florida for so long that I need to remind my people that aren't used to this, that might be kind of new to the oils. They maybe joined in the fall and winter. Now that we actually see the sun, we need to think about what citrus oils do. So one thing you would not want to do is put citrus oils in like a lotion and put that on your skin. You don't want to be adding citrus oils to your bath water. You don't want to be putting citrus oils in your body wash. You don't want to ever put citrus oils on your face for any reason or any place that's exposed to the skin. Now, at the risk of offending someone, because the Lord knows that somebody will be offended, but, you know, with girls, it has to do with like the angle that the sun hits you to. There's certain body parts that there's contours. And so even if you think like right now, like my shirt's covering all this area, if I put oils here, I can very likely be, the sun can hit me the wrong way and I can get some severe burns. The biggest culprit for burns is bergamot. And I know I talk about bergamot a lot and I talk about, you know, smelling it and putting it up by your face. And so sometimes people will put it on their chest or on their kid's chest and just be super careful. I prefer to take it in my hands like this and put it a little bit in my hair, like not my scalp for sure, but in my hair and then on my shirt. But don't get it on your skin. Don't put it on the back of your neck. And please read labels because a lot of the blends, we don't think about what's in it. So like Purify's got tons of citrus oils in it, okay? So think about that before you use it. One that a lot of people like to use near their face is Whisper, the women's blend Whisper. Well, if you look at the ingredients, bergamot, okay? So it even has a warning. It says something about, I don't know, it's really small, but it says something about sun sensitivity on here. So you want to be really careful because a lot of times we'll talk about putting it on your ears. But, you know, even if you have long hair and you're wearing your hair up, that could expose different areas like the back of your neck, your ears. So be very cognizant of what oils are in your blends. Now, I will tell you, I'm trying to get a definitive list of which ones are okay and which ones aren't. There are some blends that doTERRA that have citrus oils in them that doTERRA has gone and they have actually stopped cold pressing the oil for that blend and they are steam distilling it. When you steam distill a citrus oil, it takes away that aspect that causes the sun sensitivity. Now, if you're drinking citrus oil in your water, you're not going to get a sunburn from that. It's when you put it on your skin, the area on your skin where you put it is where you're going to get burned. And even if you put it on a couple days before, if we're talking about bergamot, I've gotten burned up to 3 days after I put bergamot on. I got severe burns, the likes of which you would not even want to see. There were actual holes in my skin on my chest. I had put it here on my chest. I had done Clary Calm, but just to be clear, Clary Calm is one of the ones that they have stopped doing the cold pressed. So Clary Calm now is fine. But back then when I did it, it was it was cold pressed bergamot and I rubbed it on my chest and then 3 days later I was outside for like 2 hours and over the next 72 hours, like my skin just like blisters and holes. It was probably 6 weeks. And I've seen people that have much worse experiences, like where their skin is permanently discolored. So it's a safety issue. So like, again, you're responsible to know how to use your oils after you get them. doTERRA is going to educate you more than anybody else is going to educate you, but what we can't do is come over and like put the oils on for you. So you do need to pay attention, like what's in my oils. So the ones that I know you don't need to worry about for sure are Clary Calm, Intune, which has lime, totally safe to put on for the sun. We did that because kids use it on the back of their neck. And then the other one is Hope, the Hope blend, which I love that blend, and I love that it supports kids that are being rescued from sex trafficking. But that one is safe. I believe it has bergamot in it, and that one is totally safe to apply on the skin. But some of the ones you should know, obviously the citrus. So bergamot, the worst offender. Lemon, pretty bad. Grapefruit, wild orange, lime, cumin oil. I have no idea why you'd be using cumin topically, but there you have it. It's very sun sensitive. We mentioned Whisper, Purify, Elevation. Elevation's a very important one to be careful with. Motivate. And I believe somebody even mentioned Forgive, and off the top of my head, I can't imagine what's in that right now. But somebody had mentioned that one. So check the labels and be very aware of what you're putting on places where the sun is going to shine. Okay. The other thing is using oils with heat and moisture. So you got to think about the fact that you're going to sweat more. So especially if you have like long hair and you put even like past tense, because I've done this before, you put past tense on the back of your neck for a headache, and then you're going to be outside doing something with your hair down. Your hair is trapping the air from getting to where you applied that oil, and then you've got all that sweat that happens on the nape of your neck. So you've got heat and moisture driving the oils deeper, and that can cause blistering, and people are like, oh, I had an allergic reaction. No, you just kind of burned the outer layers of your skin. Now, there's a whole bunch of people, some of them are in doTERRA, okay? But there's a bunch of people out there telling you, well, if you dilute it, it's okay. That's even worse, guys. I don't know where that's coming from. It's not true. If you dilute an oil, you're going to actually absorb more of the oil, and it is going to sit on those outer layers of skin longer. Okay? If you don't use a carrier, the oil tends to go deeper into the tissues. So, if you take bergamot and dilute it, it's not going to help you any. It's still going to burn you, and it's probably going to be more likely to burn if you use coconut oil. So please, wherever, I don't know why people are saying that, but please learn this, that diluting in oil does not prevent anything except for possible skin sensitivity for a warm oil. Okay? Now, the second thing is, if you do get some kind of like red bumps or itchiness or burning or those blisters from using the oils on your skin, the worst thing you could do is put more oils on it. I've had people say, oh, put lavender, do the boo-boo blend. No, no, no. If you've got oil burns, okay, the oil burned you because of how you used it. It was just a lack of, and I still do it. And can I just be honest? I just did it, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like. If you can see that, it's getting a lot better now, but I burned myself right here. And honestly, I'm not even sure which oil I used for sure. I can't remember if it was, I think I might have put Forgive there. Maybe I got a little bergamot one day by accident, but that's what it looks like on that's a very mild case, and it's very painful. I would not put any oils on it. The exception that I will give you is the Healing Hands Rose Lotion. I don't know why that's an exception. Maybe because rose is so good, so good for skin. But I've been using that on it. That's the only thing that is making it feel any better. So I really, safety is important, and we don't want to people to have bad experiences with the oils and think it's the oil's fault when it's just a lack of understanding of how to apply them. And there's well-intentioned people that are giving you false information. So I just want you to be to understand how it really works. If you want to control the safety of essential oils, you don't dilute, you use less oil, okay? So hopefully that's clear. So I've yammered on quite a lengthy amount of time. I think that's, I have a lot more stuff I could talk about, but that is a good start. So if you are a first-time guest, you have never attended one of these events before, and you don't have a wholesale membership with doTERRA, I'm going to ask you to please comment and tag the person who invited you. They are probably doing some kind of giveaway for their guests that are attending, and so you want to make sure that they know that you're here. If you're one of my guests and you just stumbled across the page, or I personally invited you, or you know me and that's why you came, then again, please comment and tell me that you want to be added to the VIP page. That's just for my personal guests and customers, because I have some special things that I want to give away. And what you want to do is, we already told you what you want to do is get your own membership and get a starter kit. So I'm going to share, if there's not somebody here that can share it, I will share a link to the starter kits, so you can go and look and choose the one you want. And then the next step after you decide which one you want is to call the person who invited you to watch this video, okay? I know that I'm incredible and just super attractive, and I get that. But if I'm not the person that invited you to the event, you really want to work with the person who invited you to the event, because they're the one who is going to be the best person to help you get started on your journey. And I promise you, they're going to have some really great education resources as well. You just happen to stumble upon mine. If you have stumbled and you don't have anybody that you're working with, I'd love to help you. So if you are not, again, you are not a wholesale member of doTERRA and you're not working with somebody else, then you will want to join my VIP page, which is just for people that are not enrolled in doTERRA that are my guests. Everybody else, you want to contact the person that invited you to watch the video. They'll help you get started, and they'll be doing some kind of promo as well for the people that sign up. So, but join my page if you want to find out what my personal specials are. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I am tentatively planning on talking about spring cleaning, like real actual cleaning and how to clean with the oils. I might change my mind between now and then because that is what I am known to do. But either way, we'll be back here 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then if you want to watch some short educational videos about oils, we try to be on right around 1 o'clock Eastern Time every weekday. So I will see you at another time on another video at facebook.com/oil shares. Thanks for hanging out with me. Talk to the person that invited you to watch the video and find out how you can get the best deal and get started with your doTERRA membership. Have a great night.